Good morning. We are in the UK in Doncaster, Sheffield, and Echo Golf Charlie November. And I haven't streamed for a couple of weeks now. I had a I was waiting for an update of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in the process of waiting for that, my Vive Pro 2 decided that it was going to put a green line in my right in the right screen. So I had to send that in for repair. And because I'm an impatient person, I decided to try a Pimax AKX. So that's what I'm using today. It's been a lot of fun trying to get this thing to run okay. And so I'm much more comfortable in being X-Plane than I am in Microsoft Flight Simulator doing VR. So I thought I would try it here first. Um, so the plane that I'm in is the default Cessna 172 with the reality expansion pack on it. So it is more, as it says, reality expansion pack. So it is much more realistic, uh, much closer to a real airplane. So that's what we're going to be flying. So I've been trying to get there we go. That should be a little bit better. I had my I've been trying to every headset I get put the Atlian mod mic, wireless mod mic. I've been trying to put that on every headset. The Pimax was a bit of a challenge because the outside coating of it is kind of like rubberized, and so I sent on that line's Discord, I sent a message kind of like I can't get this this button to stick to this. So they basically said that that the adhesive doesn't work with rubber. so I know, cool. And so what I ended up doing is I just took a piece of Gorilla Tape, just put it over the surface where I was going to put it, put the button where on the Gorilla Tape, and so far it seems okay. But we'll if all of a sudden I lose my mic in the middle of this stream, that's what happened. But we're just trying to roll with it. So my Vive Pro 2 should be back on. It was scheduled to be back on Wednesday, but I guess it's going to come on Thursday. So we'll. So what I wanted to start doing is until Flight Sim Expo, until I leave for it, I wanted to start streaming pretty much every day. So that's kind of going to be my goal. And whichever flight sim I'm in, I'm not so sure yet, but that's going to be my goal until I leave on the 23rd. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. So to start off with, so with this headset, you have to use a program called PyTools, and so I haven't quite got the resolutions all figured out. I think I am just sky high on the resolution. So I have the PyTool. Let me think if I can show this. We can try. So let me see if I can get to the desktop. Alrighty, yeah, we can get to the desktop. I don't know how well this is going to be readable, but I basically render quality. I have it on 1.5. That may be too much. And this basically the field of view I have on normal. So what does that mean to Steam? So we go to settings. Okay, so So my resolution per eye, this is huge. I mean, it is probably, I am probably way too high on this. So, but I like to leave this one here set at 100. So with a setting of 1.5 in PyTool, this is kind of what I'm getting. So it's kind of, it's pretty high. so we'll go to X-Plane. So X-Plane, I have motion smoothing disabled. So this is the resolution that basically is being given to X-Plane. And I have that at 50%. If I find out that this is too much, and it may be, then I'll just slide this slider down a little bit to 40 or something like that. And let's look here. So yeah, so nothing else is changed here. So motion smoothing is disabled. So we'll return to the game. So what does that mean? Who knows? So basically, as you've seen, I had that at 50%. So 100% times 50% is 50%. So this ain't looking too bad. I probably would like to see it around 45. It's kind of where I would like it to be, but we'll, it's kind of what today is. Today's a day of testing, so I'm trying to make sure everything is kind of working. So get my checklist going here next.
OBS sim sound.
So sim sound, is it working? Yeah. Let me try a couple things here. Okay. So I have my desktop in the VR cockpit. So when I turned on the master, I saw the sound level go up. So that says that I've got the sound from the sim
check
working.
Mod mic in position.
So mod mic in position. You should be able to see from the webcam. You should be able to see my mod mic, and I have to rotate it down so that the this part here is kind of close to my mouth, so I can feel it, and that's true.
Check. OBS mod mic sound.
1, 2, 3. So basically, I looked over there and I seen
check.
that when I
OBS streaming.
Are we streaming? Yeah, it looks like we are. Cool.
Check. Over Toolkit Windows.
OBR Toolkit window. So up here, and I'm doing something a little different. This is how I run my Windows in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I just kind of learned how to do this. So I used to have my chat window like over here on my left, but every once in a while when I went to look, even though I have it translucent, it would kind of block my view a little bit. So what I've done instead is, so if I look up, you can see that I have the windows kind of up over my windshield. I'm not going to be looking for anything over my head. So I just went ahead and put my chat window over here. And then I put the Pilot ATC over here. So they're kind of up out of the way. So generally when I'm looking straight ahead, I won't see them. My chat window, when somebody puts a message in chat, I get a ding in my headset. So that I know I got a ding, I just look up, and this should work out way, 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 way better. So at least that's the plan. So that is all good.
Check. Fly with Lewis sounds script.
So I have a Fly with Lewis script here that basically controls the sound sliders in X-Plane, and I have that in the cockpit.
Check. AviTab plugin.
So AviTab plugin. So I have AviTab. So AviTab is basically kind of it's a tablet in VR. Just the greatest thing for VR for X-Plane users. So you can have. So right now I have the Doncaster, Sheffield. I have the airport, the information here. So it shows me what the tower is, what the approach is, what the runways are, what the weather is. So it gives you like all that information. You can have a moving map. You can read PDF files. You can do like a whole bunch of things. You know, that is, they're getting closer with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but they're not quite there yet. To have the amount of functionality in this one application. Falco that did Avatab just has done a spectacular job. I don't have a Navigraph account, but if you do have, you can basically all your charts that you can get in Navigraph will be available in this too. So it's pretty cool. Because I don't have one, there's a thing called ChartFox, which is free, and all the ChartFox charts are available in this also. So it just depends on what you're doing. So we got that? Cool.
Check. 2 brakes.
Alrighty.
Test and set. 3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shut-off valve. On, in. 6 beacon. On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch. On. 9 throttle. Open 1/4 inch. 10 mixture. Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump. On. B mixture. Rich until 3 to 5 GPH, then cut off. C auxiliary pump. Off. 12 starter. Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine. RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Leaned max. 6 flaps. Retract. 7 avionics. On. 8 instruments.
Wing 30 and west. Looks about right, and elevation here is 55, looks pretty close.
Set. 1 brakes.
Okay, trying to think what I want to do here. I'm going to shut back down. Yeah, I need to do that. So I'm going to shut off the avionics. I'll pull the mixture back. Turn everything off here. When I looked, I seen that I didn't have the, I had very little fuel. So there was 2 things I was supposed to do, and I need to add that to my checklist. So let me go to the Reality Expansion Pack plugin. So let's go to weight and balance first. We'll get this out of the way. So I want 15 in here. Go back, 15. Hello. 15. Whoops. Alrighty, 15. Apply. Alright, that's good. So let's check the maintenance log on check. Whoops. Show maintenance report. Yeah, let's make sure I haven't broke anything. Been a while since I've flown the plane, so want to make sure. Battery's down just a little bit because I started the engine. Okay, okay. Front tire, okay. Sounds good. All right. Since I've already started the airplane, I turn the beacon light on. Turn these on. I'm gonna see if I can get the plane to start. Kind of hoping I could, because I had already had the plane running, and I had the throttle set to 1,000, so I kind of thought the plane should actually start without too much grief. If you kind of don't start this plane up correctly, it won't start. Either you'll flood it, or you ain't got enough fuel, or who knows. But that just makes it more realistic. So until we get rolling here, I need to let the right now the oil temperature is down below the green, so I have to wait until the oil temperature gets up. Okay, what's the temperature? Oh, 58, cool. Not too much to worry about. When I first started up here, I was on live weather, and it was overcast, I think. My frames are pretty bad, so I'm probably in the end gonna have to back off on the my super sampling here, and probably back to about 40 or something like that. So, but right now everything is pretty crisp in the cockpit. I personally don't think it's as crisp as my my Vive Pro 2, but we're kind of early days here, so and this one here is real important to have it lined up with your eyes. It is very important, and the IP adjustment apparently on this headset is much more important than many others, so just what it is. So let's have to see. Oh, probably ought to turn this on. I looked up and I went, why the heck is pilot ATC not happy? Okay. Say active runway.
Aircraft calling tower, say again with your call sign.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 20.
Okay. So we have my heading indicator lined up, and we're going at 20. I have my heading bug set at 20. So so that all is in pretty good shape. So once I get the plane like warmed up, the plane's warmed up now, so Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, altimeter 3009 are cleared for takeoff, runway 20.
Well, it's not quite what I wanted, but we'll see how this goes. Trying to find out where I got a hole here. I think I can go this way. Yeah. Go over here and see if I can find a... Trying to remember the place. I think I've been here before. Yeah. Let me go up this way. I'm a little disappointed I don't see taxiway lines here. Like I'm not supposed to be here. Could be why there wasn't taxiway lines here. Okay, we'll just cheat a little bit. Taxiway line there? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I should have come off over there.
Check. 2 magnetic compass.
Let me hide you. I don't need you. Alright. There is something really wrong with the elevation right here. I had to climb up like a pretty big hill. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, ready for departure, remain in pattern.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 20, fly a left-hand pattern for touch and goes on runway 20, remain on this frequency.
Okay. So, turn taxi off, nav's on, land on, turn strobes on. I don't probably need it, but I'm going to roll up here a little bit. So it looks like I was supposed to make a right hand, not left hand, but that's okay. Rep keeps complaining that I got the RPM a little too low. Alrighty. So it looks like we got our lights on. Looks like we're trimmed for takeoff. Whoa! Come on. Okay. So, let's go do some patterns. Guess I'm on the right runway. That speed's alive. Way more than enough airspeed to take off. See where she's trimmed at? So trim for takeoff should be about 85 knots or so. Yeah, not bad, 85. Looking okay. Heading bug is lined up on the top of the heading indicator, so it's kind of telling me I'm going down the middle of the runway and staying on runway heading. So once we're at 500 feet, we'll go ahead and we're at 500 feet. We'll go ahead and make a turn here. Make a turn to the left. And when the heading bug is over to the right-hand side here, that's when I stop turning. back to 2,000 RPM. There is a runway behind me. So we'll go ahead and turn on the downwind. Trying to maintain this elevation since I have reduced the power. I wanted to descend just a little bit. Okay, straighten her up. Make my downwind call. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
So I'm finding that the ATC is a little low, but when I started my stream, I forgot to bring the audio mixer in so I can adjust it while I'm in VR. Okay, we're being the numbers, so I'm going to pull back the power of about 1800. Hold the yoke back, 1 notch of flaps. So the plane should, the goal is the plane should start, it should be remaining on the downwind heading, and the plane should start descending at around 70-75 knots. I'm a little bit high, but not too bad. So I'm looking back. I want to see that runway and be about 45 degrees, and I would say it's now. So we go ahead and turn. I'm descending a little bit too quickly. 1 more notch of flaps. And my RPM has dropped just a little bit, so I'm going to feed in just a little bit more. Okay, so we've turned on base. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
Okay. So when I'm over here, I should be about 500 feet above the ground. So I'm just a little bit low. Not really too bad. Not enough that I'm going to make any great change here. The Pappies say I'm high, so I think I'm low. Pappies say I'm high. We shoot for the middle. Okay, we got 2 notches of flaps in. I certainly can make the runway. Last notch of flaps. Pull back on the throttle a little bit. And I was flying this yesterday, but I was using the default Cessna 172. And no doubt about it, the reality expansion pack acts completely differently, which is a good thing. So we're nice and lined up here. Pull back, pull back, pull back. There we go. So that was a late flare, huh? Really? Wow. Hey, take your word for it. The person is supposed to be knowing how I do. Up we go. So that was a descent rate of minus 115. So it said butter, yep. And so it said good but late flare. So I thought I flared about right, but evidently not. So we'll just have to see. Okay, we're 500 feet. We'll go ahead and make our turn. I can pull the bar back here. Oops, almost overturned. probably could have went down the runway a little bit further. I turned just a little bit early, but I turned it 500 feet, so it's okay. Pulling back on the yoke a little bit here to make sure I'm staying 85 knots or less. So I got my RPM at 2,000. Got to make a downwind call here. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
Okay. So cleared for the option means that it's my discretion. Whether I say I want to stop or I'm doing a touch and go. It's my discretion. And she just gave me permission to do that. So we're doing about 85 knots here. We're in level play at about 950. So that is the back the car a little bit. 1 knot to fly. I'm hearing a sound and I don't know where it's coming from. I swear it sounds like rain. But I don't necessarily see it. Alrighty, so we're turning on base. 1 more knot to flaps. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 20. Got a little confused. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
When you give her too much information, she just gets confused. So I'm warning that you just give her just the least amount of information you need to. And if you do, then she stays pretty happy. Okay. We're definitely high. Flaps, not to flaps. Pull back on the power a little bit. Trying to trim it to get about a 500 feet per minute descent right here. So the big lines there and the chevrons there, that basically says that's a display threshold, and I have to be past that before I land. So we're certainly past it. That was a good landing there. You hear the stall horn squeal. Up we go. When you hear the stall horn squeal right before the wheels touch, that's a good landing. So it means you are basically stalling the airplane. Hopefully only a foot or so above the runway. Okay, flaps are up. Got full power in. I'm going to continue out a little bit here. Look down and look at the runway property here. Because I turned way too early. Even though I was 500 feet, I was legal, but I would rather have more time on my downwind to get everything figured out. So we're pretty good. That's the end of the runway there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn. Pull back on the power. I am feet above the runway, so I'm at pattern altitude. So I brought the power back to 2,000. I'm running right around 80 knots. I'm descending a little bit, so I pulled back on the yoke just a little bit to prevent that. Trying to get it level right now. Alrighty. So we've turned here. Yep, that looks really good. Yeah, whatever that sound was went away. I don't know what it was. Not sure. New headset has different speakers, so the speakers on this, I think it's called KDMAS or something like that. They're kind of like the valve index and the HV reverb G2. So they're off-ear speakers, so they're a little bit different. To make a call. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
Okay, Doc. We're all good for the option? Yeah, and so the fact that I went further down the runway and then made my turn, then you have much more time to kind of get everything figured out. Because you really want to, just about when you're just at the beginning of the runway, make your downwind call. And that gives you like so much more time to kind of get everything here kind of set up correctly so that you're reasonably level. You're around 80, 85 knots. So there's the runway threshold, so we'll pull back on the power. About 1800 where I'm going to shoot for. Hold the yoke steady. So she should start descending here. I just shoved in on the yoke just a little amount, just to try to get the airplane to descend. Okay. I would say pretty productive day. Frames are not where I want them to be, but this is like the first time I'm streaming this. All kind of new. Alrighty, go ahead and turn on base. Second notch of climb. Try not to turn too steep. Should be a standard grade turn. If you turn too steep, then you always have the chance of stalling in a turn. But that's probably about the last thing on an approach to a runway you want to do. Stalling this close to the airport is just a bad idea. Because you're too low. There's no way can you recover. Oh, got the RPMs down just a little bit too much for me. So I'm just kind of looking, trying to keep it square here. There we go. Okay. I forgot to do my call. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
There's a couple of things. That call I can probably skip, and nothing will happen. But the call for touch and go, if I don't make that call, she assumes I'm doing a full stop landing. And that's what she will expect. So when I land, she'll tell me to taxi the parking lot. And I've done that by mistake a couple of times where I forgot to make the call. And basically that's what I was told when I landed. She said taxi to parking. So it's kind of like, oh crap, okay. That's on me. Alrighty. So I pull them back on this yoke. Ooh. they come out with a mod that has, you basically add a damper to it. So before I had that, it was pretty easy to like over control going down the runway, where you could pretty easily put too much input in. And this damper kind of makes it similar to how a real airplane works, where as you start increasing in airspeed, then the rudder becomes more effective, and also the amount of force that you have to push on the rudder pedals increases. So it basically is trying to replicate that. And actually, from my experience, it's doing a really good job. So it helps on that where you don't over control. Alrighty, make another turn. So I'm trying to keep my airspeed under 85 or actually right at 85 right now. Turning on the standard rate turn here. Straighten it up. Here's the runway. Make the turn. Turning on downwind. So the RPM is 2,000. And trying for like 80, 85 knots. Trying to get parallel with the runway here. I make my call. I'm a little bit further away than I probably should be, but everything can be resolved. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots cleared for the option runway 20.
Okie dokie. So the scenery I'm using is Orbx True Earth for Great Britain. It has 3 different packages for the north, central, and southern. And that's a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy. It isn't too, I can't say that there's any serious impact on frames. I have more impact with weather than I do with anything on frames. In VR. I don't know about 2D, I just don't. I don't fly it. If I'm flying in NHM, I'll be in VR. Alrighty, there's the threshold. So pull back the power to like 1800. When I pull back the power, I hold on the yoke. Actually pull back a little bit. When I do that, trying to prevent it to descend, then the airspeed's going to drop a little bit. So I want to be the airspeed to be in the white arc when I put my first notch of flaps out. I don't have to be. I can be quite a bit faster, but that's what I'm comfortable with. So we're turning on base here. And quite frankly, right now, I don't remember if I called for a touch and go. We'll find out pretty quick. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots cleared for the option runway 20.
Okay, she said cleared for the option, so that basically means that I called the touch and go. So that's cool. Alrighty. I got a little bit slow in airspeed right here. That's why. Plane's trimmed pretty good, so when I see something like that, kind of like, why was it about 60 knots when I really probably should have been about 70 knots? When I get over here, getting ready to cross the threshold, 60 knots is fine, but on base, haven't turned final yet. Or haven't fully lined up with final. 60 knots a little slow. So like right now, I give it like a little bit of power. And now we are 65, 66. So we're definitely gonna make this runway. I'm gonna pull the power back a little bit. Give it a full set of flaps here. We're gonna get the plane to descend a little bit more. There we go. So we arrest the descent. If I am getting ready to take off and I'm not going to do a touch and go, then I'll absolutely trim for takeoff. And when you take off, it should climb out of there at around 80 or 85 knots. You shouldn't have to do anything. You should be able to, once you do your initial pull back on the out to get it from the off the runway, you should actually be able to let go with full power. You should be able to let go of the yoke, and that thing climb out at 80, 85 knots. It should do that all by itself. You didn't do anything. You just make sure you have it trimmed correctly before you took off. But when you're doing touch and goes, it's pretty hard to, after you've landed, to kind of figure out where trim for takeoff is. Especially in VR, it's kind of hard to see it. So it's just as easy to do it to match your yoke, to match your airspeed and trim it with hands off on the yoke. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind, runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
Okay, so we're not too bad this time. So if you look, pretty well parallel with the runway here. So if I look out, that runway should be in about the middle of the strut. So I'm probably a little bit wide, just a little bit. But it's okay. I personally rather be wide than too close. You run out of time pretty quick when you turn the base and then turn the final. You run out of time if you're too close. You won't have enough time to get it to descend and get everything pretty happy. So just personal preference. Alrighty, there's the threshold. pull back the power to like 1800 or something. One notch of flames. And when the plane slows down, because it's because the prop isn't adjustable, that airspeed affects your RPMs. Alright, 45 degree. Go ahead and turn. Certainly in the white arc. One more knot. I was letting the plane descend like a little bit too quick. There we go. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots cleared for the option runway 20.
Alrighty. So we're descending at about 500 feet a minute here. And I am about 500 feet above the runway rate. So at this descent rate, I probably will be okay. But I think when I think I'm just got a little too much power. I'll pull the power back a little bit. We're definitely going to make the runway, so our last notch of flaps. I'll try 15. See how this turns out. I think we're going to be okay. So we're coming across the threshold at a little bit below 60 knots. I want to make sure I make it over this threshold. Alrighty, so I'm a little bit slow. So this will happen a little bit quicker. Just because you think you don't have something kind of figured out, doesn't mean you can't correct. And so the yoke I'm running is a Fulcrum 1. I've had a few yokes since I've been simming. I had a CH, I've had a SATEC, and then I had a SATEC Cessna. I actually had two of them. This Fulcrum 1 is the best yoke I have ever used or been able to use. I don't think I've ever been able to put my hands on a Yoko. I really want to. I have put my hands on a Redbird, and this is better. At least in my opinion, it is. So what's the advantage here? My turn? The first and very important advantage is the throw of the yoke. The yoke goes, I can pull this yoke back 8 inches from rest. I can push it in from rest 8 inches. So, what is the throw on like a Cessna 172? It's identical. So however far you can pull a yoke back in a Cessna, or pretty much any GA aircraft, that's how far I can pull this yoke back and push in the same amount. What does that mean for you? What it means is when I'm coming in to do a landing, the subtleness, and I can adjust this scope to do a landing is incredible. It is just incredible. So it allows me to just make very, very, very minute changes to control the pitch of air. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, jam when runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go. Too early. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots cleared for the option runway 20.
I think I started talking before I had the mic button pushed down. And if you do, the whole transmission is just wasted. I don't do it very frequently, so I mean the other thing I could do is look up and make sure I see it turn green up there. And but I don't do it frequently enough. I usually learn from the response. Alrighty, there's the threshold. Back to 1800. Airspeed's good. Trying to get the plane to descend a little bit. It was dropping in airspeed a bit more than it needed to. Alrighty, that's good. Let's turn on base. One more knot. So I've been flying in VR with X-Plane for, wow, 3.5 years, I guess. And when X-Plane released VR, native VR, let me rephrase that. It was released with VR controller support, which is something Microsoft Flight Simulator chose not to do. So I've been trying to fly with that using the mouse and stuff, and it just is not the same. The fact that I can, with my controllers here, basically do everything. So I have let me get powered back a little bit here. So that adjustment I just did, I pulled the throttle back from about 1800 to about 1500. That was all done with a touch controller. It wasn't done with a mouse. It wasn't done with any kind of hardware. It was done with a touch controller. The only hardware that I have is a yoke, rudder pedals. Everything else that I do in this cockpit is done with a VR controller. And since that's how almost my whole VR career has been, why didn't I get butter? 128, are you kidding me? Really? That's interesting. Has been running this way when I first started using VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It was so boring to me that I was having a bit of a hard time trying to figure out how to make it work. But I found in the end what I basically did with that is anything that I normally would have used the VR controllers for, I basically created voice commands, and I use voice attachment. So, flaps down. So in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I have a JTEC throttle drop mixture control, and so that's what I use for my mixture, for my throttle. But then I also have a JTEC trim wheel. So trimming I do with hardware, can make a soft flight simulator. Trimming I do with hardware. The throttle, the mixture, I do that with hardware. But pretty much everything else then I do with either the mouse or voice control. So I haven't figured out how to set a frequency with voice control. I think there's a way to do it, but I'd rather just use the mouse for right now and wait until we have air controller support. So it sounds like it's going to be in I don't know if it's November or December, something like that. So, but kind of my point of this ramble is Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
But kind of my point is that I'm just so curious as to how they're going to implement VR control. I know what I think works for me. That doesn't necessarily mean what works for other people. There's a lot of people that think the mouse is just fine, and I'm like, no. But all legitimately what I'm asking for is a choice. So go back to power to 1800. Hold it up back on the yoke a little bit. Once the airspeed drops just a little bit, down 1 notch of 1. That's all I really want. I want a choice. I want to be able to do it pretty much how I can do it here. And I don't think that's asking too much. But one thing that will be terribly exciting, interesting, is what's X-Plane Next Generation going to bring? Because within a few days now, we will know. Because at Flight Sim Expo, they are going to basically show off, and according to Austin, they're going to basically tell people how you can have it too. That's exciting, at least for me it is. So we'll see how this works out. The one thing for sure is the scenery will not be streamed. That's a given. Austin just does not. He wants it done differently. He wants it done the way he wants, not to follow somebody else. And so what will be interesting is how that works out. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf on final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
So it will be quite interesting, no doubt about it. Where's the line here, Bill? landing research is bringing to the table. They'll be showing their cards. They're basically, I suppose the way you can look at it is their response to Microsoft Flight Simulator will be X-Plane Next Generation. So it will be interesting. Alrighty, that's the let's make that turn. Coming up on pattern, I'll go back to 2000. Go back on the yoke a little bit there. I was dropping just a little bit. Little adjustment of the trim wheel. Okay, squared up. There we go. Good enough. We're turning that one. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
Yeah, when I'm over in this area, I hear like this sound. It acts like it's coming off the left side. I don't know what it is. Kind of weird. I gotta get a little bit wider here. Whoops, nope, I'm too wide. Alrighty. There's the threshold. Go back to 1800. Go back on the yoke just a little bit. Get rid of some airspeed. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Turn on base. Looks like I'm a little close. That's good, because I'm a little low. We're going to hold off this notch of flaps until way at the end. Yeah, having the chat window up in the air like that seems to work a lot better. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a good place for it. It's a great thing about VR. You got all kinds of room. You can put everything wherever you want them to be. Oops. A little overshoot. I'll pull back power then. Last notch. Okay, cross the threshold at 60 knots. We come in here, we start pulling back on the yoke. Trying to get the airspeed to bleed off. Minus 44. That's just awesome. Up we go. We'll be over the trim wheel down just a little bit. In full power. just move the trim wheel just the slightest amount to kind of rebalance everything. And once it kind of, if the nose went up and it went down, and it should come level here, or it should come to a climb. And so it should be 600 feet per minute at 85 knots. No hands. I mean, I am not on the yoke here. The only thing I'm doing to the yoke is just guiding it left and right, not up and down. Plane is trim. This is trim for climb. Alrighty, we got way enough altitude here. Whoops. So let's make a turn. So, I think I'm doing one more touch and go. And then I'll do a full stop landing. It's kind of my game. I'll be at this long enough, and I'm really, really, really happy with my landings. The headset is good enough. Man, it does have a wide field of view. Just huge. But like I said, to me, this is me. But I'm using this headset. I normally wear glasses, and every other headset, I wear lens inserts. They're not available yet for this headset. They are coming. Real Optics are in the process of making or developing. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared for the option runway 20.
So some of the uncrispness may be related to the fact I don't have lens inserts in here. It could be related to that, I don't know. But I have, since I have started using VR headsets and put my first lens inserts in a VR headset, at that point forward, I never put a pair of glasses in a headset. I don't care what they say. I don't care how much clearance they say you have. I don't care. I just refuse to do it. So there's this first one. Go back on the power to like 18 knots. I'm just not comfortable doing it. So what I will do, I did it with my Vive Pro 2. Well, not too flat. I'll just fly it without glasses. So no doubt about it, everything is not as clear as it could be. So it's hard to make really good judgments. Then go ahead and turn on base until I get those. But we'll just have to see. But the headset is to me it's fine. I mean. But I have to give that caveat that I kind of think that the Vive Pro 2 it's more crisp. It may be all related to that, but we'll see. Because I have lens inserts in my Vive Pro 2 and with my HP Reverb T2, and the Vive Pro 2 is using Real Optics. And really, really, really happy with them. And I reached out to them on their chat and got to talk to a developer that says, when I talked to him, and it was probably a week ago, maybe not that much, but I said, so what's the time frame? He goes, weeks. I went, okay, sounds good to me. So. And I basically told him, I said, when you have them for sale, I'll be one of your first customers. No doubt about it. I'm such a believer in inline sensors. I just am. And some headsets, the Vive Pro 2 demands them. It was markedly different. Thought that one was gonna go bad, but it didn't. It was actually my best landing. So cool. Alrighty, full soft landing on this one. We got some trucks sitting over there. Alrighty. Oh, this turned out pretty good. Pretty happy. Not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Got a feeling I'm going to try the H3 Reverb G2 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think it's what I'm going to do. It's kind of my goal, I think. Wasn't sure if I was going to get to stream. I normally like to start my streams at 11 o'clock. I get to the people across the pond. It's kind of like in the early afternoon, so that's kind of why I like to pick this time of day. But we'll see. I fully understand that streaming VR content is not for everybody. Just is not necessarily the easiest thing to watch, but I continue to do it because I believe it's important to show that it is possible to stream VR. But with each headset, it's just a challenge. So each one of my configurations that I use to stream with on OBS Studio, each one of my configurations is completely different, related to headset, related to the sim. Just the way it is. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, full stop landing.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared to land runway 20.
Okie dokie. We're all good? Final landing. We've been out this 92 minutes. I don't think I started flying until I had probably 15 or 20 in, so I'd have to count. I never keep track of how many touch and goes I do. I base it more on time. You can do about 8. You can do about 8 in an hour. I've heard people say they can do more than that. I don't think so. I don't think so. I did a lot of them when I was learning how to fly an airplane. I find them fun. They're challenging, and there's the threshold. What's more challenging is that when you're doing touch and goes, when you're training. You got another guy sitting over here to your right. That's your instructor. He's kind of there to kind of make sure you don't do anything too stupid. And so that's kind of his job. But when you're flying in VR, there ain't nobody there. You're kind of all on your own. Second notch of Buenos. And talk myself through. That's not 6 Bravo Golf turning final. That's not 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 112 at 6 knots, cleared to land runway 20.
Looks like I'm gonna overshoot my approach here, but she don't respond to me. But we'll get it. We'll get it. So pull back the car a little bit. They're lined up. I should be able to hit that first, not the first taxiway, but the next one. I should be able to get it stopped by then. That's my goal. Alrighty, we're good. Last notch of flaps. Whoops, I don't want to quite pull all the power out of here, but there we go. Ain't looking too bad. A little bit fast, but not bad.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, there we go. 56, not bad. So I actually had a 37. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Alrighty. Yeah, and this is the taxiway I was shooting for. I just wanted to be. You gotta be past the threshold. And that's one thing the dampener on these pedals helps. Every once in a while when I would come in like that, I would be giving it way too much input. Oops. Maybe I gotta go past it. I'm looking for the hold short line. That's not a hold short line. We'll stop here. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, clear the active.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Doncaster Tower on 128.77. Please repeat your request.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request taxi to General Aviation Parking.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, taxi to General Aviation Parking via taxiways Alpha, Charlie.
Okay. We're an X-plane, so we don't have any guys kind of hanging out, kind of saying, "Hey, come see me, come see me." So we just don't have that. That's fine. So I pretty much know where I took off from. I don't know why that does that. All of a sudden, those like just pop up when you get close. It would kind of, I don't know if that's a level of detail thing or what. So. What am I doing? I come around the back. We'll see if I can. I want to get on the other side of those stairs. Hopefully not hit them. Come around this pole. Oh yeah. See that plenty of room there. That's where I left. Oh, go ahead. Plane to turn. Yeah, line right up on this yellow line. This is certainly not for me, but that's okay. That's okay. Alrighty. Now that was fun. Alright, put the parking brake on. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the avionics. Get all the lights off here. Turn off the ignition. We're good. Awesome. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna turn that down from 50 to 40 and see where we turn out. But you can definitely tell that this headset is definitely gobbling up some VRAM. So basically, I'm using 13.1 gigabytes of VRAM. So it's probably a good idea that I have a 3090, because if I had a 3080, even a 3080 Ti, that wouldn't be enough. So, but let me jump back in here. So yeah, I'm thinking native res is 38 something by whatever. So I'm thinking I need to get closer to that. I'm probably 1,000 above, but I don't think I'm going to change this, because this. Let me go over here. Okay. This is just like a generic setting. So kind of whatever the headset's given SteamVR at 100%, that's kind of what it's given it. So I think it's related to that. So I have in PyTool, I have this set at 1.5. That may be too much. I don't know. I have to figure all this out. But that's probably related. It's what that setting is, and what this number is. That's all related in some way, shape, or form. So but that's just what it is. I mean, so. But like I said, this is the first stream I've done with this headset. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the performance. I'll have to watch the VOD and see how that looks. But what I could tell when I was in flying is it looked good. It didn't look like it was jerky or any of that. But some anti-aliasing issues. Yep. It's a constant battle with VR is anti-aliasing, and but that's what it is. What? Cool. But putting my OVR toolkit windows up above here, that's just the greatest idea, because I didn't even recognize. I mean, I didn't even see them generally unless I was looking for them. So, but we'll have to see. If you enjoy this crazy content, streaming VR, please click on the follow button, so that when I go live, you'll get a notification that I went live. And like I said, my goal is for the next. I'm gonna try my darndest for the next however many days it is before I leave to go to San Diego. I'm gonna try to stream like every day. Probably a different. I'm quite sure I'll be a different headset every day. So I'm quite sure tomorrow I'll be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think I'm going to actually be at this airport. I kind of like to do those kind of contrasts, and so I think I'll be in this airport with the HP Reverb G2, and I'll be using the G2 controllers, not the not my index controllers. I have one or two updates go with Microsoft Flight Simulator. They changed something, and the index controllers don't work too well with it. So I'll just use the HP Reverb controllers, a mouse, and some hardware stuff that I have to stream it. So and I think I'll do about the same thing. I'll just do some touch and goes, and but I'll be using the HP Reverb G2 and SteamVR. I won't be using Windows Mixed Reality because it does not provide the streaming tools that I find I need to stream comfortably. So, but it will be in SteamVR. The last time I did it, it looked really good. I think I was actually getting better. I was getting certainly better frames than I got today. I think I was getting around 45 FPS, and so yeah, I was pretty happy with it. So, and I'm pretty sure that was with World Update 6, if I remember right. But we'll see what it turns out to be. Alrighty, like I said, if you enjoyed this content, please click on the follow button, and you'll get much more of the same of what I'm trying to convey to the flight sim community and VR enthusiasts in particular. So, you guys all have a great day. I know I had a lot of fun today. So, we'll see you later. Goodbye.